Well, the library of the future is going to be heavily digital because that's how people access information more and more these days, particularly young people. Also, a lot of information is just created digitally, the so-called born digital material. It never exists in paper form. So it's going to be heavily digital, but one of the challenges it's going to have is it's going to have to, particularly big national libraries and big research libraries, it's going to have to continue to preserve the legacy collections of non-digital material, these priceless books and manuscripts and maps and so on that have been accumulated. And also there's still a huge amount of printed material being published in the world. There are more newspapers being published in India, for example, now than there ever have been, and they're in paper. The Library of Congress, for example, has a big office in New Delhi that does nothing but collect Indian newspapers because it's hugely important. So it's kind of going to be a mix. That's just one example of the mix of moving into the digital world, but still being responsible for the legacy collections and the ongoing print collections is going to be the great challenge for the libraries. The other thing that's important to say is that the libraries are going to have to innovate. They're going to have to make themselves more user-friendly. They're going to have coffee shops, and they're going to have meeting spaces, and they're going to have to make a space for games and electronic games and all these kinds of things. And the trick there is how do you do that without losing your core mission? How do you stay true to your mission of being a library, being a cultural institution, and not selling out your soul to just bring in people? But obviously the old way where you just have chairs and people come in and sit and read books, that's not going to fly with future readers. They want a different environment to work in.